we can get. Alrighty. All these things. Okay. Well, welcome everyone to our August 2026 Fall Data Bites. And we're here to just give a real short update about two survey projects that are being done, not now just locally at Rio, but being handled district-wide, and just wanted to give some updates on these. My name is Cheyenne Harden. I am a program analyst in the Institutional Research Office. And so today, again, we'll be just giving an update about our graduate and alumni surveys that are happening. So really, sometimes we put a lot of effort, of course, into our students while they're with us. We want them to be prepared for what's next, but we maybe sometimes once they graduate, that's the last time we consider our impact. But really, maybe you've thought about how our recent graduates felt about their time with Rio. Have they met their goals because of us, or have we assisted in that in any way? Do they talk about us? Are we hyped up within the community? And so that's really what our graduation and alumni surveys have been aiming to do. This presentation, we're not giving out any new data as far as findings, but really, again, just giving an update on a shift that we're working towards. So let's start off to show that we really do have plenty of information around these populations. We have dashboards that our office has prepared around annual awards and graduates. So everyone at the school has access to this information as far as certificates and degrees and number of graduates that we're producing each academic year. And again, this is just to highlight that we have this information available. And again, you can access it in our dashboards. We've also prepared dashboards that look at commencement statistics, so things that are put in the programs for graduations. So again, we are concerned about our students reaching that goal, and we have information, but now we're just trying to see how can we really enhance and what else we can learn from these populations of students. Something else you may not be aware of is that we have been running graduation and alumni surveys at the school. The graduation survey is attached to the application that students fill out for graduation. And it's just very simple feedback. It's done through dynamic forms. And this is data that we don't really have readily available, not monitored as often. We also have programs like dental hygiene, educator prep, community outreach. We have other programs that are also doing their own surveys when students finish their programs. So we have a variety of information there. And we also have an alumni survey that we've been running since about 2019 that seeks to get feedback on students as far as why they attended, did they reach their goals, and a net promoter score, how likely are you to recommend Rio? And this image here is a snippet from a report we prepared last year. It's available on the IR Google site for everyone to read and review. So this isn't here you don't have to study this right now, but it's there and available to review. We also have our alumni association that students are invited to sign up for as well. So we are trying to keep that communication open and hear from these students, but now we're making a shift district-wide so that all the colleges are putting forth an effort in utilizing a graduation and alumni survey. So there really are benefits to this approach. Often when things are talked up about being taken from a college specific to a district wide approach, there may be some apprehension or concern when it comes to Rio because of us having the non traditional students and the online format. But what's really going to be nice about this approach is we're going to be getting feedback from schools that have not always administered a graduation or alumni survey. We're going to be getting support from the district versus just our own resources. So we are looking into, and I should say, as the we here, um, this past year there was a survey research team that has been put together with representatives from all the colleges. And as a group, we have been working on these two survey tasks here. So we hope that the district will provide some incentives that will increase our response rates, be able to market them and promote them more so students know that these surveys are coming their way. Um, Again, we'll be getting to students that have not been surveyed by now having them available at all the schools, and we'll be able to do cross college comparison, and not in a way of um, who's better or who's worse, but really with the types of questions we're asking about how was their time, were their goals met. Um, it's something that maybe then we can look at, okay, Rio's doing really well here. What can we implement somewhere else? Or Chandler Gilbert's excelling here. How can we implement somewhere else? So it's not meant to compare in who's doing bad, who's doing worse, but to learn from each other, right? And now that we'll have this uniform system, it'll be really great for assessment tools. We already utilize the information we have from the surveys when it comes to HLC accreditation and strategic plan proof, but now we'll have a more systematic way and we'll have easier access to the data, and it'll really just improve those processes there. So now we'll just take a little brief look at some of the updates that are coming to these two surveys. The survey research team, we were split into two groups to look at the survey. So half worked at developing a graduation survey and the other half worked on the alumni. The graduation survey team, they were able to this past spring get all the colleges to agree to having two questions in their application. One asking the student to update with their personal email address so we would be able to stay in contact in the future. And then second is really what are their plans post graduation. So that was it's a great start that we have that in place, but now we're hoping by this coming spring graduation time, all colleges will have the same survey that they'll use. And it's focused on, again, knowing what the plans are after graduation, how they felt prepared for their next chapter, if they're satisfied with the experience, and net promoter score. So, how likely are you to talk about your school to friends and family? Yes, for me.
Yeah, I just have a question. What does NPS mean?
Net promoter score.
Holy cow, that's a fancy word.
Net promoter score. So that's those questions on surveys that say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend blah, blah, blah to friends and family? And in their net promoter score, you determine if someone's a promoter. So if they're like, they give you like a 9 or a 10, those are people who are more actively going to go and say, this was great. You're looking for blah, blah, blah. You should do this.
Oh,
Ones that are like an 8 through like a 4 or 5, like, yeah, they might talk about it, but they're not going to go out of their way. And then you have the 3, 2, 1s that are going to more likely give negative feedback, actively saying negative things.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Um, so the graduation survey, it's been drafted. Um, it's going to be passed along for approval. It's just about 8 questions long. And so that's what we're hoping to have developed and in place for all the schools come spring. And with the alumni survey, I was a part of the group that worked on developing this. We were able to draft a survey that we hope will be passed along and approved to be used by the end of fall um, this term, this year. So really the alumni survey, it follows up from the graduate survey in asking those types of questions about were your goals met? Um, what are you doing now that you're out of Maricopa? Um, but I really appreciate that we wanted to get a question not just about like have your finances improved. So we do ask for them to give a range of their annual income, but has their quality of life overall improved because of their experience with the school? And this, again, it goes beyond just, yes, I've got a better job or yes, I'm making more money. Because I feel that if there's been improvements in their overall quality of life at home with themselves, then, that's a benefit as well. So I'm really grateful that we were able to work in some type of question around that. This survey is a bit longer. It's about 14 questions. So again, that's why we really are hoping to get some type of incentivized way of promoting our survey. The goal is that it gets administered 6 months after the conferred date of their degree or certificate. And because of, again, Rio, us having these uh, year-long graduations, right, or in the sense of or conferred, right, completion, we may have students that anywhere between 6 months and a year that are getting this invitation. Um, now that we have the graduation survey, where students gave us their updated personal email addresses, we'll be able to use that information to send out the alumni survey better as to get hopefully a better response rate, be able to connect the dots to see what has changed. Um, so we're really looking forward to seeing how these come through. So really, that was it today. Just an opportunity to let the college know about the advances in these two areas. We look forward to seeing how this data can be used when it comes to marketing, how it can be used for um, building our relationships within the community, different things like that. So, yes, I welcome your questions.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and Cheyenne.
Okay.
I noticed that 47 and the initial results that you had was 47% were looking to their training for the job market, right?
This one here? Yes.
Yeah, right there, 47%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that to me, it just reinforces the notion that people that come here primarily are looking at improving themselves either in their current job or in a new job. So that's more like an observation. Now, the second question is, do you actually have a range of salary? Let's say, like you didn't think about this question, asking them what they are currently making or making before they completed their study, and what they are making after they completed the study, especially if you're looking at 6 months ahead.
Right.
I know it's too much grinding for them, but I thought it could give you a range of improvement if there is an improvement.
Right, for sure. And we discussed about that. Do we want a before and after comparison? Um, but we were also really trying to figure out with the questions that we ask, um, what we want to make sure we're asking questions that there's something that we can do about it, right? And trying to make the survey as brief as possible. We were thinking what's more important to know where they're currently making, because we can take those ranges and compare it to cost of living data that we have and see like, okay, we our students 6 months to a year out fall are um, making X percentage of the living wage, right? So that's at least something we can do without having the student give us information that we can't do anything about. And also, again, just highlighting how this is just a snippet of a report, but as you can see, this data only looked at 151 students over 3 years. So we're not getting
Right. The full
enough
view.
valuable, yes, to really say, oh, yep, half of our students, they want better jobs. So that's what we want to follow up on. So we're hoping within the years of using these two now unified surveys across the colleges, we'll have better data to answer these types of questions um, about their finances. And again, having that question about quality of life, did we make an impact? Because maybe they're making more money, but they're more stressed out because they have to work more and now they can't take care of their family, right? So we know that there's so many other pieces to benefiting from a degree versus just a better job.
Yeah, it's kind of a holistic approach rather than being money-driven approach.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, Cheyenne, yeah, I know
Yes. Oh,
for alumni data, it's very good for like program review. You know,
mm-hmm.
we like to know how we can improve our curriculum as well as to provide information as you guys are talking about how much they got um, after graduating and stuff like that will help to improve on the programs. I know that one of the concern would be like the low response rates,
Right,
because you send out these surveys and you may not get any answers, and that can be an issue. Oh,
right.
oh, how you guys plan to go about that in terms of, is there a monitor, not monitor, we'll say that, what are your guys, I don't know,
To incentivize.
yeah, or, what you guys are going to do
Right.
to improve like the response rate in terms of that. And also, is there a question that you guys ask to, which programs they were enrolling, which
Yes,
exact degree or certificate program they earn. So we
yes,
can use that to match against the program that we are reviewing. So
correct. Okay.
yeah,
So I think, yeah, so you have two questions. The first one is how are we trying to incentivize to
yeah,
improve response rates? And then are we asking about their program? Is it relevant to their current work or their next steps?
yeah, sure.
Um, and I'd say yes to both. So yes, we did actually, our group with the alumni survey, we did look at what other schools like Scottsdale, they've been doing an alumni survey for a long time, and they found having a entering for a drawing for a certain, like Starbucks gift card and different things was useful. So we're trying to determine what the budget could look like, as well as is it better to say you're entered into a drawing, so like you're eligible to win, or to guarantee someone $5, $10, right? So that
Yeah,
is our goal. to look at a way to increase response rates in that manner. And then as far as your question about programs, yes, we have a question asking, is your current work or next area of study related to your program from XYZ school? And we do ask them what they're working in. And so again, if we have their MEIDs and all that kind of stuff, we can pull what they graduated with and then use what they provide us to see, does it match when it comes to program review stuff. So yeah, that's a great question. And then another benefit that'll come when we have more thorough data.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Of course, of course. Any other questions, comments, concerns I can share with the group? I'll stop sharing my screen so I can see your faces.
Do you have the actual survey, Cheyenne, that you could share in the screen or not? The 14 questions, I'm just curious about. Well,
So
we can look at it later, but yeah.
yes, we can
No,
look at it later. Like I
yeah.
said, we have them drafted as a group, and we're just waiting for approval to make sure we have our things are covered. But again, it's questions around your. Let me find it. Hold on. What I want to show. What I want to look at. I want to look at this one. You know, what was your main goal, primary reason, goal in entering your degree or certificate program? Did you achieve your goal? What describes your current situation as far as if you're re-enrolled in a school or working? If you're working, is it full-time, part-time? What industry are you working in? Again, estimated annual income by bracket, and we give them a website resource to if they're like, I don't know how to calculate that, I make $18 an hour, you know, then we give them a resource to calculate that. Did they notice again any changes in their quality of life? Do they feel like they were prepared for their next steps? How would you rate your experience overall? How would you recommend us? And then also we encourage them to share their stories, and that's something that we've been doing a lot, right? Like we want to hear from our students, share their stories. So now all their colleges will be actively doing the same.
Okay, that's what that NPS comes into play, right?
Right.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Trying to think anything else worth mentioning. I feel like there was something I was going to say, and then it went completely that way. But other than that, yeah, so just look forward to more updates regarding the work with the survey research team. Something on the horizon is we're trying to map out what a life cycle of a student looks like as far as assessment points. So of course we have, you know, end of course evaluations, and we have other events that we collect feedback from, but are there other places from when they apply to completion that we'd like to see more feedback from? So just keep that in mind as well as something coming down the path. But other than that, I really appreciate everyone's time. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll keep you updated, and we'll see you for the next one.
Thank you. Great presentation.
Yeah. Thanks, Omar.
Bye, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.